And then what about Kobe Bryant? Because you had a unique, ticket to history in a sense, getting to talk with him, asking him questions that a lot of people haven't been able to ask him. Any surprising things on or off camera or behind the scenes? I know he was at your event, but any things that stuck out to you about Kobe Bryant?
So he walks in. We had a meeting. We have a famous meeting. If you remind me, I'll give you the picture to put it up. We're in a boardroom, and I'm sitting across, and he's sitting across from me. We're having a conversation together, and he says, "So it's pretty loud out there." I said, "Yeah." He says, "How many people you have out there?" I said, 6,200 people. He says, "You nervous?" I said, "Not at all." I said, "You?" He said, "No, not at all." I said, "Then it's going to be a great interview." I said, "I agree." So then you start talking to him, and then you see how he is. Same with Kobe, maybe even more with Kobe, because what I saw with Kobe off camera is how he spoke to my wife, for how long, and how he spoke to my kids, and how Dylan, the day he died, we were at Seasons 52, when the news came out, CNN saying Kobe Bryant helicopter crash fatal, and you're thinking this is like, you know how sometimes these stories come out and you're like, oh, this is a terrible joke. Who's played it? And then they tweet out and say, I'm alive. This is not a joke. Right. This is someone's playing a bad joke and stuff. You're waiting for that. You're like, no, not happening. This is what's going on. And then my son Dylan starts, because it's Kobe, my friend. So, those experiences, because I saw how he sat there and just talked to Dylan. Like, he's a grown man at the time. Dylan was 7 years old. And how he talked to my nephew. And, a lady came in, a 72-year-old white lady came in. And the way, because she was in town in Vegas, and the way they hugged each other and talked to each other like it was his great aunt or his aunt. And, I had no idea what the relationship was with the two of them. But she talked to him like it's his son. And he talked to her like it's, but you can see the love with whoever that individual was. I don't know who it was. And then we sat down, we started talking about life. We talked about different things. And then once the interview was up on stage, it was like, so smooth, because I followed this guy's career. Yeah. August 23rd, 1978, baby. I'm October 18, 1978. He's 6 weeks older than me. When he came to LA, I'm a big Shaq guy. That interview led to Shaq being upset with me, which he DM'd me, what a stupid questions to ask, if Shaq had your work ethic, who would he been? And then he blocked me. And then I'm like, why would you block me? And then years later, I'm trying to get him to sit down. And then finally, Shaq agrees to come down for an interview. And so Shaq comes to the MGM Grand Arena. We're at the event. There's, thousands of people at the Grand Arena waiting. We're in the back. He says, that was a stupid question. I said, Shaq, that's not a stupid question. It's a valid question. Why would you ask? I said, Shaq, how can that be a stupid question? And it's me, him, my wife, my kids, everybody's there. He says, let me tell you why it's a stupid question. At that time, I already had 4 kids. He didn't have 4 kids. He was this, he was that. I'm already going through this, and I like to have fun, and I kind of got to do that. We're different, that or this, with that. I'm like, okay, fine. And then that relationship led into a friendship where Shaq messages, and my son and Shaq talk to each other. Dylan, by the way, Shaq's also maybe, Shaq is maybe one of the most likable guys off camera on how he is and the memory he has. We know these guys as great athletes. I mean, they're on the wall over there. I got, both of their pictures on that wall. But, learning about these guys and seeing what they did and what their mindset is and how different they are and what they, during that time for us to follow these guys the way they did. But I'm more interested on how they are off camera. And both Shaq and Kobe, they were 10 times more impressive off camera than they were on camera.
Yeah. And was there any part of you, especially coming from LA, that is thinking, holy shit, how did I go from, being overdrafted my bank account in my 20s in LA, never thinking you could ever meet them, to them at your event, interviewing both of them? Does that still trip you out, or do you feel get used to it at a certain point?
So crazy you say that. So the easy story is to say what? Yeah, I would never thought that this, that. But, I'm going to give you a different side of the story. I see myself as an equal in a different industry. I know this sounds very weird and arrogant, but I see myself as an equal in a complete different industry, because the amount of dedication it takes to make it in that game, I am sure it takes the same amount of dedication in a different industry. The only difference is insurance is a boring industry. It's not a public. There's no da-na-na, da-na-na. Tonight, John Jones out of Minnesota wrote 42 different policies, and collected watch the way he signed this contract. Oh, wow, the highlight of the top 10 plays of USA. No one's going to do a top 10 plays of insurance. It's just not going to happen. So the fact that there's an entertainment aspect of sports that we don't have in business and real estate and insurance and tech, no one's that interested on the entertainment side. In football and sports it is. So at one point I would have said, wow. But once I was 30 years old and I kind of had become a professional competitor worker, I saw myself as equal as a lot of these guys.
I love that.
Yeah.